and hear and feel and listen and watch. The place where you can audition top brand audio and video equipment before it goes in your home. World-class brands, now available in Huntsville. Come experience the difference. 1833 University Drive, just east of the Parkway, at the all-new AVIQHSV.com.
The new Cheeseburger Bobby's on Carl T. Jones Drive in South Huntsville is focused on serving great food prepared with the absolute freshest ingredients, featuring classic hamburgers and cheeseburgers with lots of specialty options, chicken and hot dogs, even turkey burgers and veggie burgers, along with fresh cut fries, onion rings, or coleslaw. Always fresh, never frozen, except for the frozen custard. See all the delicious options at Cheeseburger Bobby's for yourself. Check out the menu and more at cheeseburgerbobbies.com. These days, saving time is important, and saving money is even more so. That's where Eagle Masonry and Insulation comes in. Over the years, Eagle has expanded their services to meet the needs of folks like you in our area. If you're ready to lower your utility bills, Eagle can insulate your home and help you save money with fiberglass, spray foam, and cellulose insulation, and can help you decide what's best for your project. Call Eagle Masonry and Insulation today at 256-755-1556. Eagle saves you time, and Eagle saves you money. One of the best-kept golf secrets in the Tennessee Valley is Cherokee Ridge. Cherokee Ridge truly offers golf at a higher level with immaculate greens set against a spectacular Appalachian backdrop. This 18-hole championship course takes every advantage of rolling hills, whispering woods, lakes, and streams. Interested in becoming a member? Their membership plans feature affordable options for couples, families, and individuals. Book your tee time today, 256-841-4551. Cherokee Ridge. Championship quality, affordable prices.
1 in 3 adults in America have prediabetes, but most don't know it. To let people know it can be reversed before it becomes type 2 diabetes, professional basketball player Julius Randle is doing everything in reverse.
I'm only dunking with reverse windmills. I drove the whole way to practice in reverse. I don't recommend it. This move's called the reverse shuffle. I do recommend it. And it took me months to learn how to speak in reverse, like this.
WZZN, Union Grove, Huntsville, Alabama. 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
For almost 10 years. So together, we want to say to the 84 million Americans at risk, exercise and healthy eating can help reverse prediabetes. Start by taking a simple 1-minute risk test at doihaveprediabetes.org.
Brought to you by the Ad Council and its prediabetes awareness partners.
Bet he can't say that in reverse.
97.7 The Zone.
Now on Saturday, you are willing to give a little extra. Then you, because of your preparation and the things I'm trying to get across to you, and if we do that as a team, 11 at the time, 4 years from now, why, we'll be walking out of here national champion. And I'll tell you this, I expect nothing less.
97.7 The Zone.
Yankees, Red Sox, Sunday at 7 Eastern on ESPN. Presented by Casamigos Tequila.
The 2023 U.S. Open Tennis Championships. It's the sport's biggest stars. It's the next generation now.
This is Paul Feinbaum. That'll do it for me today. Coming up next, The Drive with Wes Neighbors and Steve Moulton on 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
This hour is brought to you by Woody Anderson Ford, Alabama's F-150 Superstore. Welcome to The Drive with Wes Neighbors and Steve Moulton. Call into the Neighbors Wealth Management Hotline, 256-576-4977.
That's how I roll. And I'm not going to drink and drive anymore.
That's 256-576-4977. Now, here's Wes and Steve.
On time and ready to roll here on a Tuesday. Along with Wes Neighbors, Steve Moulton here with you live at the Furniture Factory Bar and Grill. How you doing, Wes?
Doing good. Good to be here.
It is. It's always good to be here at
Excited
the Furniture Factory.
Absolutely.
Come on out. Early Braves game today. First pitch at 5:40. Hopefully the bullpen will bounce back in a big way after giving up a 3-run lead in the 9th inning to a team that is now 10 games under 500. But it's baseball, and to Wes's point, who's already looking at me cross-eyed, it's game number 67 game number 67 today for the Braves as they take on the Tigers. Braves still up 3.5 games lead in the NL East. The Tigers are 5 games back in the NL Central. Spencer Strider is on the mound against Reese Olson. Yeah, I don't know him either. Coming up on the program today, all they did was win a title last night. Our friend from Altitude Sports, and that is Scott Hastings. He is going to join us. Who knows? Maybe he was jamming out to the Partridge Family last night on his way home after the Nuggets down the Heat. So that series is done. Basketball is now in the rearview mirror. So that way we're one step closer to college football. And on the subject of college football, Joel Klatt went on the herd with Colin Cowherd earlier today. Get
what
ready.
Kind of propaganda is he spreading?
So get ready. I am here to let folks know exactly what is going to happen this year in college football, courtesy of Joel Klatt and the herd with Colin Cowherd.
Well, this year is going to be a little bit wide open. We touched a little bit on Michigan in terms of a Big Ten perspective, but let's just look at the national perspective of college football. The power teams in terms of recruiting and winning championships, all right, would be Alabama and Georgia. If you were to throw one more team in that recruits at that level, you would include Ohio State, okay? Is that fair?
Yeah,
okay.
Absolutely.
All 3 of those teams are going to be breaking in new quarterbacks, all 3 of them. Then you've got Michigan. They've got their quarterback, and he's back. You've got a team like LSU, quarterback back. USC, quarterback back. If you're looking at
and
a
not
year,
just quarterbacks, like good ones.
Good ones, very good. I mean, Caleb Williams is a generational talent. You've got Heisman contending quarterbacks back for all 3 of those.
Michigan's guy I see in mock drafts is a late first, early second round.
Yeah, I could see that.
Yeah.
I mean, he's a talented guy. There's no doubt about it. So now you've got that level of quarterback back. You've got rosters that are getting better at all 3 locations. They will be better teams next year than they were this last season at all 3 of those locations. If you're looking for a year in which you're going to get a champion that is not Georgia or not Alabama or not Ohio State, this is the year that you would look towards. And not Clemson. I'll throw them in there because they've kind of dominated the championship landscape to some degree as well. This is the year. And if I'm one of those coaches, if I'm Brian Kelly, Lincoln Riley, Jim Harbaugh, lean into that.
Yeah.
Go after it.
Yeah.
Set the standard high because the fact remains is that it's a quarterback sport. Yeah. As much as we took shots at Stetson Bennett, man, he made plays at times.
He's a pretty good athlete.
And so this is the moment for those teams. We saw TCU make a run, get to the national championship game. You can do it. You don't have to be Georgia and Alabama. Even though Georgia's won back-to-back national championships, these teams are going to have a really good shot next year to take it the distance.
Well, I'll say this. First of all,
it's a wide open year.
Well, his premise is not a bad premise. That, hey, there are some quarterbacks. These teams have quarterbacks. And This is the year.
Yeah.
The stupidity it is like they're not going to try. Right? Oh, come on. You need to reach for it, guys. Come on. How stupid is that? I mean, like they're playing for second. Like we're not going to try to win it. That's stupidity, especially at these rich programs. Sometimes but his premise is, I don't have a problem with his premise. Those 2 guys.
So get ready. This is the other one.
But Georgia and Alabama are going to win the national championship now for sure because those guys are never right.
So we're going to see Georgia and Alabama not only the SEC championship but in the national championship now.
Twice again.
Yeah, they're going to play twice. Here is Joel Klatt on Caleb Williams, the talented USC quarterback, and his comparison between Caleb Williams and a guy named Patrick Mahomes.
Caleb Williams doesn't have those same question marks that Mahomes did.
Yeah.
Because the offense is more NFL in terms of what Lincoln Riley does. His production is off the charts. His ability to scramble and throw the ball down the field, to create, to do all of those things athletically, have the arm angle and the touch and the power with his arm that only Mahomes had in college. Like, this guy has it all. He's the best college quarterback I've seen in a long time, maybe ever.
Yeah.
I know that, you just said, you talked about hyperbole before. Maybe ever, because he is Mahomes, but a better version at this point.
I thought, but
remember, you could put Andrew in a box.
Yeah.
Now, he was mobile and powerful. He was phenomenal. And I'm not, but this has Williams has the best parts of Mahomes and even Luck and even like an Elway with some of that innate escapability that Elway had, even going back to his Stanford days. I tell you, man, the only thing that's going to get in Caleb's way is Caleb.
Yeah.
His mentality and all the antics. Well, that's the only thing that's going to get in his way.
Got to be careful of them
Best
antics.
ever?
Best ever.
Best ever doesn't lose to
Best ever in the history of ever.
Doesn't lose to Tulane. I'm just saying.
Best ever.
Best ever doesn't lose to Tulane.
Best ever. Best ever.
Yeah.
We're all living in the USC world, and we just didn't know about it. I'm glad they were able to inform us earlier today.
Tulane.
Yeah, Tulane.
Best ever, Tulane. I got you. Lost to Tulane.
So this college football season, wide open.
When you look at him, do you ever think best ever?
I don't.
I didn't either.
So the college football season is wide open, and evidently Caleb Williams is better than Patrick Mahomes. The best quarterback in the history of college football resides in Los Angeles, California, and plays for Lincoln Riley. I almost said Lincoln Sharman. That's the Druinary seeping through my language barrier. We'll see what happens. Is he a talented quarterback? Yes. Is he the best ever?
No. If he goes undefeated and wins the national championship, then he can
start strutting around.
Yeah, well, I mean, then we'll talk about it. The best ever?
Yeah.
Those two. Do they realize USC is going to the Big Ten yet? Because they'll jump off their horse then.
Yeah. So that's a little bit of sound earlier today on the herd. I did want to play for you Joe Burrow. The Bengals quarterback has himself a brand new contract, but he doesn't want to talk about it with the media.
I think I've given you guys all the information that I'm comfortable with sharing about that process. So as far as questions go about that, probably save that for another time. No questions anymore, huh?
Because he was getting peppered left and right on his new contract. And by the way, Cincinnati, he's worth every penny.
Well, I mean, he might be the best quarterback in the league based on what's around him last year. But we have, you look at all the different things going around.
Yeah.
I don't blame him for wanting to talk about it, because what happens is, as we know, as you get that big pay raise as a quarterback, it affects the rest of the team.
Yep.
And will they be able to put those stars and keep those stars around them? You have to wait and see. I was looking at the Jets. There's a bunch of talk about getting rid of Mosley.
Mm-hmm.
Then you look, and he's like the 4th or 5th best player in the NFL based on his grades, and they had the number 1 defense last year. The Jets did. The reason they were in most of the games they did win last year was because of their defense. And next year, the quarterback is going to hit so much money they don't know if they're going to be able to afford them. So they finally get a Super Bowl winning quarterback, but does it just totally destroy the rest of the team?
We do need to go ahead. We do need to go ahead and take an early timeout as we head out to the championship city that is Denver, Colorado next.
You're listening to The Drive with Wes Neighbors and Steve Moulton on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Ann Adams with Berkshire Hathaway Rise Real Estate is the one name to know if you're buying or selling real estate. With years of local experience, Ann Adams offers buyers in-depth knowledge of the local housing market and will narrow available properties down to those you'll be interested in so you can save time when shopping for your new home. If you're ready to sell, Ann offers a seamless process using accurate pricing and expert negotiation skills to make sure you get a fair price for your home. Call Ann Adams today at 256-337-2625 or log on bhhsriserealestate.com.
Tom Luganbill here for my friends at Woody Anderson Ford. Bobby White and his team take great pride in their service department, and you can see it the moment you walk into those beautiful new service lanes. And just like a championship team, they all work together to make sure your experience is second to none, whether you drive a Ford or not. Also, check out the gold certified pre-owned inventory at Woody Anderson Ford for great deals every day. Stop by and see them at Jordan and Sparkman or at Woody Anderson of Madison on Hughes Road, or visit WoodyAndersonFord.com.
Our customers want best-in-class solutions. That's why we've recently added many new vendors like Zebra barcode printers. Our next level team has added premier automation solutions. We're not here to sell you just one product, and we love helping you find the right solution to your specific needs. That's what doing the right thing is all about, and that's why our customers have come back for over 50 years.
When I chose a garage door company, I did my homework. I needed Precision Overhead Garage Door Service. They have a 5-star Google rating. I checked their reviews and liked what their customers had to say. Precision Overhead Garage Door has lifetime warranty packages. Same-day service if I call before 2 p.m. If they can't make it the same day, my service call fee the next day is waived. They did a 25-point safety inspection on the door and operator. Now that's peace of mind. Residential, commercial, and gate services. Precision Overhead Garage Door Service. Call 256-400-4500.
The kitchen is the heart of any home. It's where the family gathers. It's where kids discover old recipes and make them their own. Just starting out or just now getting started on the dream kitchen you've always wanted?
I'm Chris Haygood, and from all of us here at Bob Wallace Appliance to the home builders and the homeowners of the Huntsville area, a heartfelt thank you for buying local. We're in Huntsville, Florence, and Coleman, and online at bobwallaceappliance.com.
Forgiveness. Wow, what a word. What a gift. All of us have done things in our lives that we regret. All of us have done things that are disobedient. All of us have sinned and fallen short of the glory of God. Thank God for his forgiveness. Thank God that he separates our sins as far as the east is from the west and remembers them no more. Hey, I'm John Dees, pastor of Cross Point Church, smack dab across the street from the YMCA in Madison. Check us out at cpcfamily.org.
Get your tickets at Greatness.
Attention all high school boys and girls basketball players. Ticket to Greatness and Grind Nation have partnered together to bring you the Grind to Greatness High School Recruitment Combine. All athletes will have a chance to showcase their basketball skills directly in front of college coaches. This combine is an NCAA certified event. The boys combine is July 15th and 16th. The girls combine July 22nd and 23rd at Sparkman High School on Jeff Road in Harvest. Register now at greatnesscombine.com.
Since 1998, Scooter's Coffee has delivered high-quality drinks with quick service and a big smile. And the folks at Scooter's Coffee know a great cup of coffee or other drink can bring a smile to just about anyone. Yes, we specialize in great coffee, but Scooter's also has smoothies, teas, and delicious food items, too. And this week, Scooter's is our zone deal. Right now, get $50 worth of Scooters in Huntsville for just $25 online at 977ESPN.com.
This segment of The Drive is brought to you by Woody Anderson Ford, located online at WoodyAndersonFord.com with 2 locations, Hughes Road in Madison and Jordan Lane in Huntsville.
Back here at the Furniture Factory Bar and Grill, along with Wes Neighbors, Steve Moulton back here with you, and it's nights like last night that give me hope. That we can be in June one day, and I can talk about the Atlanta Hawks actually winning a winning an NBA championship and hoisting up to Larry O'Brien. Here's how it sounded.
Lowry's searching. Looking.
Crosby finds Struce back to Larry. There it is, three-pointer. Won't go. Rebound called on Pope. They're not going to foul. The Heat will let it play out. It's over. At last, the long wait is over. After 47 years, the Denver Nuggets can finally call themselves NBA champions.
Courtesy of ABC, Mike Breen on the call.
What's the joke? It even made Champagne look slow. You know what I'm saying? He just looks like he's not going, but he's flying.
Let's let's head out to the Mile High City and talk to Scott Hastings from Altitude Sports, who's kind enough to join us. Scott, were you celebrating last night with a little Partridge Family music?
No, but that's a good idea for tomorrow. Or for Thursday for the parade. Maybe I just put that on repeat in my headphones for the parade. But no, you know what, guys? It was a little surreal for me. I've been broadcasting a lot of years for the NBA, for the Nuggets in particular, and I remember one of those celebrations when I was a player. And I guess the old player came out of me. And I went in the locker room and I watched some of the celebrations and some of the guys and the pictures. And I actually got a picture with kind of part of our broadcast team, for a second. But then I just stayed pretty much on the perimeter because the old player came out of me and I'm like, you know what, this isn't mine. I covered the games and did all 82 games and all the postseason games. But this is theirs. This is their moment. So I kind of just said in the background, got a little interview in with the owner, Stan Kroenke, and then slid out the back way and made it home.
So give me a little comparison. Since you've experienced it as a player and now as a broadcaster, what is that moment like as a player first and foremost?
Well, there's no comparison for a player. I mean, for a player, it's like the culmination of, for some people, the entire career. For other people, I'm watching a picture with Ish Smith, like 13 years of the league, Jeff Green, 15 years of the league, DeAndre Jordan, 13, 15 years of the league. And what it meant to them, and none of them guys really played a whole lot this year, but they were probably, just instrumental as far as leadership goes in the locker room. It's just a culmination of, backyard shooting with your dad, or going down the park playing a pickup game, and then all of a sudden you find yourself on, arguably, especially now with the NBA becoming so international, a true kind of world championship, if you will. And there's just no comparison as a player. As a broadcaster, I let everybody else have fun. They can have good. I stopped drinking in January, so I wasn't going to partake in anything. And it was just kind of nice to watch and see what, the steam blowing out of 47 years of wait looks like.
So at least watching that game, especially in the fourth quarter, how much of my broadcast partner would call it a pucker factor. It felt like there was a definite tense-up moment after Jimmy Butler's second three. And by the way, that wasn't a foul, but he still made all three free throws, but I digress. But it really felt like late in the fourth quarter there was some tension.
Yeah, no, there was. And I'm doing the call on radio, and you could kind of feel it, but then all of a sudden, here comes Nikola Jokic. It's kind of nice when you have a situation where you have to get the job done, that the best player on the floor is on your team, right?
Yeah.
And I said this on my radio show, and I've been trying to get people to understand this. Even 4 or 5 years ago, when they finally got to the postseason, the moment's not going to get too big for him. People say, well, he's a little nonchalant, da-da-da. Yeah, because he's what every coach preaches to players about their emotional levels, never getting too high and never getting too low. And, you talk about the pucker factor, that's usually because emotions are too high. and Nikola just lives in that moment, in whatever that moment is, and his being isn't defined by what he does on the court. So failure doesn't bother him, and success, he doesn't get, just go over the top. I mean, they handed him the MVP trophy at the end of it, did it a hell of a second, took a picture, and then he just set it down, right? He had his daughter stand on it, and I thought the daughter, it was signifying for me. He's there in the middle, his daughter's on one side, and the trophy's on the other, all stand on the table, and I go, that's his trophy. That little blonde-haired beauty, 18-month, 2-year-old beauty, that's his trophy. And he just gets it. So the moment, even though they trailed one, never got too big, and he just went whop, 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 get a couple baskets. I think he got an and one in there.
He did.
And they rebounded, made free throws, which they didn't do very well all game long. I mean, and there's the pucker factor. Just look at the stats on the 3-point and the free throws. There's your pucker factor the West is talking about. But when your best player is going full wide open and no puckering, then you're usually in pretty good shape.
Usually, in the handful of times I've been to Denver, very little Nuggets representation. I see more Avs. I certainly see Broncos. So, and you could really feel the energy through the television screen last night. It feels like 47 years in the making that Denver's now a Nuggets town.
Well, I mean, they're the second oldest franchise in the building. Obviously, the Broncos came in existence in 60. The Nuggets came in 67 in the ABA. The building they used to play in is still standing. They still have high school tournaments there. They have a big rodeo there every year and do other events there. But there's been a lot of suffering, long time, fans. I mean, the Broncos, took 31, 32 years before they won a Super Bowl. It only took them 17 to get to a Super Bowl. It took Denver 47 years to even get to the finals, not counting, the previous 8 or 9 or 10. They got to the ABA finals once. But only one time in the NBA days they got to the finals, and then they win it. And that's a long time. I mean, 47 years. One of the coolest moments, guys, in Game 1 of the finals, and they were sending me out. We were still doing a pregame show on television for the Altitude Network, and so I'm out there in the first segment, and I'm talking to people, and a guy and his son come up to me, and I start talking to him. Well, it turns out the father and son, the father had been a season ticket holder for over 40 years. He was in a walker. He was in a walker, and he was 90 years old, which means the son was probably older than I was. He's probably mid-60s. And they were there and couldn't believe they were there and were just ready for that the finals to go. And I think there's a lot more. I think people forget, the Avs came in, moving out of Quebec City and moving to Denver, and they won a Stanley Cup the first year.
Yeah.
And it's new fans, it's new hockey fans, and there's still hardcore support your hockey fans. But there's a whole bunch of Nuggets fans that some have been dead and buried, and some are just laying in wait for a long time that have really crawled out of the woodwork here in the last 3-4 weeks.
That reminds me of a story of the Philadelphia guy who died in Philadelphia, big Eagles fan. He asked the players on the team to be his pallbearers because he wanted the Eagles to let him down one last time. That year, after he died, 6 months later, they won the Super Bowl.
Yeah, Philly special the next year.
The next year.
Yeah, the teams that have waited forever, it may be even just a little bit more sweet. Just the second ABA team, the original teams have merged over with the NBA, only the second ABA team now to have won a championship. So think about that. San Antonio obviously winning multiple. But the Nets and the Pacers and I don't even know who else. But there's
is there a logical reason for that?
Ownership, management, and coaching, and probably ownership and management.
Yeah.
And San Antonio forever has had great ownership and management. Since I've been here, and I played here in '91, we had guys like Paul Westphal running. They brought guys in like Bill Hanzik one year, won 11 games. Not a good coach. Good person, not a good coach. Alan Bristol as a GM did not do a good job. Kiki Vandeweghe, in my opinion, did not do a good job. Bernie Biggerstaff, I thought, did a poor job. And then they had 3 or 4 owners there in about a 2-year period, and they finally got the Stan Kroenke involved, and it's been, okay, stop, and let's stick this piece by piece. Let's get GMs. They had a great GM. He gets a big offer. They say, you got to go. That's more money than we can pay. And he goes to Toronto and builds a winner, and they win a championship. Bring in Tim Connolly, good GM, first time. He helped set a foundation, but I think his vision had limitations. He goes away. They bring in Calvin Booth, who says, in fact, I remember having a conversation with him, off mic, just us, and he said, we have not done our jobs if this group that we have here doesn't win a championship, if not multiple. And he understood it. Made a couple of changes in the offseason right away from getting the job and really orchestrated this team over the top. And Calvin Booth has just been phenomenal, but it was the steady hands of ownership, not panicking when you don't get exactly what you want right away, sticking with the coach who's now the third or fourth long tenured coach. He's only been here 8 years. Going through tough times, going through injuries, staying the course, adding pieces, developing players. Their nucleus, which is all young, Joker 28 drafted, Jamal Murray 26 drafted, Michael Porter 24 drafted. Got 2 or 3 guys in the wings in Christian Brown, who I thought was instrumental last night, drafted. He's 24, 22 or 3. Peyton Watson didn't play much, came out this freshman year. He's like 20. He's going to be a big piece in the future. Colin Gillespie, who broke his leg after summer camp, NCAA winner with Connecticut, just a heady basketball player. He's probably going to be a piece. And then you supplement it with a trade for Aaron Gordon. You supplement it with a trade for Contavious Caldwell-Pope. And then you steal, probably the biggest steal in free agency is Bruce Brown, who's just phenomenal.
Yeah.
This is all Calvin Booth, or mostly Calvin Booth, and I think he's got a long way to set it. So why so long? Look at the ownership and look at the general manager.
And you mentioned Pope, and boy, he hit some big free throws there at the end. And, of course, he went to the University of Georgia. So yeah, it's only the second University of Georgia player to capture an NBA title, but it was it's all about Jokic, and seeing him closer and closer through this run, Scott, you're so right, because he is uncomparable with how he passes, with how he shoots. He looks a bit awkward, honestly, but it gets the job done.
He looks like the goofy boy next door, running down the court, and then all of a sudden he just outruns everybody and doesn't look like he's running.
Yeah.
Well,
it's unbelievable.
You scored 94 points to win Game 5, and he has 28 of them on 12 of 16 shooting, and one of those missed shots was a heave at the end of halftime from three-quarters court. So, in essence, he only missed 3 shots in game action on a closeout game. The game's not too big for him. He's goofy. He's whatever he is. It just shows, it's kind of what our moms and grandmas used to tell us all the time, don't judge a book by its cover, because I think what the ESPNs of the world and the experts of the world have done is try to judge him by the cover and don't realize inside is gold, well, let's call ball like he is right now, he's the best player in the world.
There's no doubt about that. Go ahead, Wes.
Well, I mean, so just talking about how good Bruce Brown is, and he's a free agent. Are the Nuggets going to be able to hold on, do you think, to Bruce Brown?
Yeah, he's got 1 year on the contract, but it's his option, and this is a chance. But he said last night, now, a buddy of mine made a good point. He said he was also making this comment while doused in champagne and probably hadn't been on the phone yet with his agent. But he said, I want to be here. I love this group, and money isn't everything. Well, for a franchise, that to me is a toss-up, a toss to you of try to find some way to do this. But it's going to be hard. You got 3 max contracts on the deal. It'll be tough. It'd be nice if they gave this group as is, maybe to give another chance at it, but who knows?
Was Brennan Malone...
That's for later discussion.
Was Brennan Malone in the building last night?
No, he and his mom, Maureen, back in New York, watching, I'm sure. Big supporters, big fans, but they're not spring chickens. And Malone mentioned this afterwards that he knew they were watching, just couldn't be there. But I know his dad. I know his dad probably popped a cold beer and celebrated with his son and the Nuggets. I'm about ready to shoot a text to Mike. I wanted to wait. You want to let all the, you want everything to kind of settle for a little bit. But listen, I know his parents, his brothers, sisters are always proud of him, but I know they're beaming today.
I mean, that's why I wanted to ask, because I know you were part of that 90 championship as well with the Pistons. How much of Michael do you see in his, how much of his dad do you see in his son?
I see the competitiveness. I see Michael's a little more of a dry humor. Brendan would sneak up with you. I see the fire when it needs to be. Let's just put it this way: the apple didn't fall a whole long way off the tree.
Yeah. I could buy that. Yeah. So I started off this interview by, this does give me hope. And I'm sneaking up on 50 years old, and you're part of a Hawks team that is arguably my favorite Hawks team back in the late 80s. It at least gives people like me a little bit of hope that maybe we can get the Atlanta Hawks hoisting the Larry O'Brien one day.
Yeah, I listen. I still got a lot of peeps, and Scott Smith, who's been on one of the scoring tables since I played there, he was texting me last night, and Scott Cunningham, who's been a photographer there forever.
Yeah.
Took over from his dad. Been friends with him forever. And we'll see. We'll see what they do.
Some guy named Holman behind the microphone too. He's still there.
Yep. He. In fact, he got there. I was playing there when his first year with the Hawks. So Steve and I are good buddies, and we'll see, man. We'll see. I'm not going to give you my opinions yet, but I think the ownership, which the new group came in 3 years ago, something like that.
That's right.
Or maybe right before the pandemic. I think have gone down some tough paths that they need to probably think about. And I'm not sure. Hopefully you got people. Here's, in my opinion, it's all my opinion. Great leadership has great people around them that's not afraid to challenge them. Bad leadership is people that surround themselves just with yes men. And I don't know what that is with Atlanta, because I think they need a few people in there that says, no, we need to do this a little different.
Well, if you would have told me a 1 seed captures the crown before the playoffs started, at least me, Scott, I would have said, okay, here we go, another title for the Milwaukee Bucks.
Yep, and that's the funny thing, and a lot of people slept on Denver, who basically from around December 15th have kind of owned the Western Conference, and yet no one gave them credit. Even the morons in the media now saying, well, Denver had the easiest way to a championship of any champion ever, blah, blah, blah. And my rebuttal to that is, if that's so, why did you pick Phoenix to beat Denver? And if that's so, why did you pick Atlanta, or excuse me, not Atlanta, but the Lakers to beat Denver? And if so, why did you keep picking Milwaukee or Miami to give Denver more trouble? I love what Spoelstra said. Listen, proud of my guys who worked their heart off, never quit. Our journey was unbelievable where we came from. But listen, we lost to a really good team. And the team that Denver beat last night to win the championship beat a number 1 seed in Milwaukee but couldn't beat Denver. Beat a number 2 seed in Boston but couldn't beat Denver. So you can do all you want, look at numbers. I think with all the play-in series now, you're going to see more and more teams that are going to rest players, that are going to suffer through injuries in the middle of the year. They're going to get guys back late. They're going to make runs to get to the play-in games, and you're going to see a lot more 8s and 7s getting to the conference finals at least.
Does this mean we're going to see Arkansas hoist the trophy, Mr. Arkansas? Is this just Scott Hastings' world that we're living in right now? You think the Hogs are going to capture the crown in college football now, sir?
Well, listen, we got to get the basketball team out of the Sweet 16. Pretty great accomplishment. Let's see if we can get them up there. They've done a good job there. Football, listen, if they win an NCAA championship, I'm coming down on your show and doing the show naked, sitting right beside you.
Well, see, I mean, that's not a win for us.
Hey, why do all the Arkansas people always want to get naked?
Yeah.
Can't keep the shirt on.
Well, listen, I'm going tops and bottoms in Huntsville, Alabama. If Arkansas football, come on now. We ain't talking Alabama. We ain't talking LSU. We ain't talking Georgia. I'm talking Arkansas.
Yes, sir.
Win an NCAA championship in football, man, there ought to be a whole lot of people in the state of Arkansas naked.
As long as Sam Pittman's not one of them, I could,
And now we know what a true Razorback is.
I'm gonna be a 60-year-old Lady Godiva is what I'm thinking about.
Well, enjoy that Partridge Family. Fire it up, and we'll be watching that parade. Enjoy it, sir. Hey, are you getting a ring?
I do not know if they feel it, find it in themselves to grant me one. I'll be the most appreciative guy in the world.
Well, so you would have some company. Where is your NBA championship ring?
It's in my gun safe right beside my bed.
There you go. That's where it needs to be. Well, Enjoy it, sir. Thank you so much for the time and the candor. We always enjoy your conversations.
Boys, good talking to you as always, and we'll talk to you in the future whenever you give me a holler.
Absolutely.
Sounds good.
Of course. As long as you don't threaten to strip off and be naked.
That doesn't bother me. I hope I'm pulling for Arkansas this year.
Thank you, Scott. That's Scott Hastings from Altitude Sports, part of the Nuggets broadcast crew, and he's been so kind to us over the years, honestly, and it's nice to see.
I think Arkansas is a program with they get the right coach and get the right recruiting going, that they can be. I mean, Georgia won one national championship before the last 2 years. I think Arkansas has the
in the modern era, but
they won some. Arkansas won some championships, and they have that pride.
That's right.
They just got to get the right, and they got to circle around. They got to get players from Memphis and circle Arkansas.
Didn't realize part of the deal out in Fayetteville was to strip.
Yeah, well, they
skinny dip.
Well, I mean, the basketball coach took his shirt off, started waving at the fan. I mean, come on.
I
can't keep your shirts on.
Forgot to ask him. He was probably courtside when Conor McGregor punched out Bernie, and he ended up going to the hospital. The mascot ended up going to the hospital.
Is that real, or is that kind of?
It's been reported on so much that I'd like to believe that's a real story.
Oh, I saw it.
So it was 2 punches.
Yeah.
And the second one, it looked like so where you see the head is not where normally the person's head is.
No, I don't believe
you
it.
You don't
No.
think
I think
the hair went flying?
I think that's all publicity.
So that all went downhill. I'm not even sure what Conor McGregor was.
He was
pimping.
Promoting some.
Like, yeah, see, I don't even know.
I don't even care.
Yeah, that too. But
and neither did the people. Obviously, they booed him really bad.
Well, that's what happens when you punch the home mascot. You should get booed.
No, they got booed before that. Yeah. But Conor McGregor, after he punched him, started spraying that stuff so he'd get up. I don't know what it was. I don't know.
I have no clue either. I'm okay not knowing that answer either.
Absolutely.
The Braves-Tigers game is officially in a rain delay, and it does not look like it is going to start anytime soon. So it looks like you're stuck with us, boys and girls, for the full 2 hours right here. And if it does keep up, at least according to the Weather Channel, we may get a doubleheader tomorrow. So just hang loose for that coming up here later on tonight. So your phone calls are certainly welcome, and maybe a few surprises as well here in hour number 2 as we're live here from the Furniture Factory Bar and Grill. And some audio that I do need to get to from OBJ next.
You're listening to The Drive with Wes Neighbors and Steve Moulton on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
The state's largest orthopedic group is growing to meet the needs of the patients in our community. The Orthopedic Center has long been the most trusted name in orthopedics in North Alabama. So as our area continues on the fast track, so does the need for premier orthopedic care anywhere and anytime you need it. TOC is proud to announce the opening of our new locations in Albertville and Hampton Cove, along with the grand opening of our newest office in Decatur. These clinics will offer the same high-quality orthopedic care you have come to associate with TOC, with the convenience of being closer to home. As a patient, your time is your most precious asset, and we recognize that at TOC. That's why we are also proud to announce the opening of our urgent ortho clinics to handle those bumps and bruises that need prompt attention. These clinics are available to care for acute orthopedic injuries with no appointment necessary. With 38 physicians, 20 centers of excellence, and now more than a dozen locations to serve you, TOC will continue to be the name you turn to for the best orthopedic care at the right time. Visit our website at visittoc.com for more information. TOC, helping you live a better life.
There are those among us when disaster strikes and seconds count, they rush in. Where would Huntsville and America be without them? They're our military and our first responders, and at Woody Anderson Ford, we salute them. Hey folks, Bobby White back again for Woody Anderson Ford, where all military personnel and all first responders get an extra $1,000 appreciation cash on top of all other offers. This offer is good through July 5th and can include an extra $1,000 bonus cash on 2023 F-150 and Bronco Sport, $1,500 cash back on 23 Edge, and $2,000 cash back on 23 Explorers. These offers are available for everyone with good credit through Ford Motor Credit, but military and first responders get an additional $1,000 appreciation cash. Our way of saying thank you for having our back. Woody Anderson Ford, over 60 years of serving those that serve us. Hope to see you soon.
Tom Abraham here for my friend Brian Hamaker and his team at North Alabama Mortgage. Look, buying a home is the biggest purchase you will make in your life, and it can be a bit intimidating, so you want people that can help walk you through the mortgage process and get you the best deal possible. That's what North Alabama Mortgage does, and they do it in Alabama, Tennessee, and Florida, from first-time purchases to refis, conventional, VA, FHA, and USDA loans. They have the solution at North Alabama Mortgage. Visit NorthAlabamaMortgage.com to learn more. That's NorthAlabamaMortgage.com.
Hi, this is Wes Neighbors. I'm here with Sam Fleming with Fleming Roofing and Restoration. Sam, tell the folks about Fleming Roofing and Restoration.
Hey Wes, our company Fleming Roofing and Restoration specializes in commercial and residential roofing and repairs. I'm a fifth generation Huntsvillian, and our family's been doing construction business in Huntsville area since 1965.
Sam, what kind of roofs does Fleming Roofing and Restoration
do?
Our guys are skilled enough. We can come out and address any kind of leaks or issues you might have on your commercial, on your metal roofing, on your shingles. We can do anything, and we can offer you a solution to repair it, or we can replace it.
Well, you guys also do insurance restoration.
Our staff has 10-plus years of experience as insurance adjusters, and we really do know the inside and out of the claims process at Fleming Roofing and Restoration.
Check out Fleming Roofing and Restoration online at FlemingHSV.com, or you can call or text them at 256-651-9440.
Hey, Wes, we show up.
These days, saving time is important, and saving money is even more so. That's where Eagle Masonry and Insulation comes in. Over the years, Eagle has expanded their services to meet the needs of folks like you in our area. If you need masonry, brick, stone, or block work, Eagle should be your first call. They can even help if your property needs grading, erosion control, and Eagle can handle dirt haul-off. Call Eagle Masonry and Insulation today at 256-755-1556. Eagle saves you time, and Eagle saves you money.
From the Fox 54 Weather Center, I'm Chief Meteorologist Jordan Dressman. A partly sunny to mostly cloudy sky this afternoon. Temperatures climbing into the upper 70s and lower 80s. Scattered showers and thunderstorms are going to be possible through the course of the day. Many of us are going to get a significant period of dry time, though. Heavy rain and gusty winds certainly going to be possible within those isolated thunderstorms. We drop into the low and mid-60s as we head into the overnight, early into your Wednesday morning, Wednesday afternoon. Going to bring another opportunity for scattered showers and thunderstorms, some of which could be on the stronger end of the spectrum. Temperatures once again climbing into the upper 70s and lower 80s. I'm Chief Meteorologist Jordan Dressman on your home for ESPN Radio 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
You know, this process is all about talking ball.
Listen to Talkin' Ball with Scott Tyson and Drew DeArmond.
What did they want privacy for? To just start talking ball.
Every weekday morning, wake up with Scott and Drew. It's Talkin' Ball. 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Back here at the Furniture Factory Bar and Grill. If you'd like to be a part of the program, you can certainly do so on the Neighbors Wealth Management Hotline. Nikola Jokic was the 41st pick of the 2014 NBA Draft, and the reason he fell was a bad workout in Spain right before the draft. In fact, there was some speculation that he would stay in the European League because of how bad that workout was right before the NBA draft.
Let me guess, it was with Denver he had the bad workout.
It was with Denver he had the bad workout. That is correct.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
So,
and then they drafted him.
Mm-hmm.
That was a
41st overall pick, second round. Yeah.
Smooth move by Denver.
So the other part of Jokic that I'm sure we'll get to know more about him is his water polo playing days. Yes. I don't know if he was able to stand on the bottom of the pool.
More than likely.
During that seems like it's unfair as well. But Jokic, Serbia's got themselves quite the week with what happened in the French Open and now what happened in the NBA Finals as well. Not too bad indeed. 256-576-4977. Incidentally, coming up on the program tomorrow, the voice of the Crimson Tide, Eli Gold, is going to join us on the program tomorrow. Always look forward to our conversations with Eli, and proud to announce what Paul went with yesterday as well, is that he is now cancer-free. I am happy to spread that word out there, and is well on his way of being back behind the microphone when Alabama takes on Middle Tennessee State. So glad things are progressing well for Eli Gold, and he'll join us coming up tomorrow. Some other sound that I wanted to get to. OBJ He has got himself a brand new home, and it's in Baltimore. He is now a member of the Ravens.
I'm where I'm at right now. It's still in my process and trying to gear up and get ready for week 1. I feel good. I feel like if I need to take off running right now, I could take off running. You know, it's been a long journey this time around, and it was its own process, so I just had to take that for what it was.
And his head coach, John Harbaugh, this is what he had to say on his new wide receiver.
We're not going to be in a hurry to throw guys out there too many reps. And, you know, he's in a place in his career where I think he feels like he has a lot to prove at this point. I think he feels like he's going to be the healthiest he's been in a few years, so let's go.
Let's go indeed. Jen's here with us.
I'm huffing and I'm puffing.
Do you need some water? Do you need a water break?
No, I need a shot.
Can we get a shot over here?
I'm just saying. Oh, my goodness.
Well, I mean, there's a bar right there,
right?
so I mean.
You would think somebody would be at my beck and call.
So a lot going on in the factory.
Happy Tuesday.
Yes.
It's great here tonight. Oh, even
So
my
how
hair's
many-
getting stuck in my lipstick.
So how
I
many?
hate it when that happens.
Yeah, I know.
Right?
So how many do you have to have in tonight?
I have about 90. I'm
Wow.
like running crazy. And you know what? They're sweet. They're all old. And they all drink wine. And I was not prepared for that. And so I have been running my legs off getting Pinot Grigio and Merlot and Chardonnay. And we aim to please.
Yeah, yeah.
It is definitely not the younger crowd. That's for darn sure. I thought it was going to be a liquor crowd. But no, it's a wine crowd.
You know.
Yeah.
There are many pathways. Anyway,
All that to say, that's why I'm huffing and puffing. I had to make sure I had enough wine for all these people. We got to keep them happy.
Yes.
You know, they come early and they leave early, but you want them to drink well.
yeah.
Anyway, how are y'all?
Well, we're good. We're digesting a little bit of the Denver Nuggets bringing home a championship last night.
Right, that tall guy.
Yeah, that's
With the buzz
that
haircut.
tall guy with the buzz cut. Yes,
Yeah, he
that
just
tall
seems
guy.
like a gentle soul.
I'll be sure and pass that along to
He
one of the
does seem like a
broadcasters.
Doesn't he seem like a gentle soul?
Yes, he
Did you
does.
see him post or after the game with his daughter on his shoulders?
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was really
Oh, no,
cute.
that would
It
be
was really cute.
heartwarming.
Yeah.
Okay, so he just comes across as being gentle. I like that about him.
Yeah.
Like he plays hard when he plays hard,
Yeah.
works hard, and then he's gentle when he's off the court. Like that's just very endearing.
Yes, it is.
Just saying.
Yes,
Totally
He's real.
dissects him, yeah. Dissects
I
him
like
in the
that.
court, though.
I like that.
What is the most endearing part of the furniture factory?
Oh my gosh! Besides what we drink. I did not say that.
I'm good with that.
I did not say that. Hey, speaking of the factory, though, we have an amazing weekend coming up. Did you know that? We got the Retro Rock Revival on Saturday night. We've got a reunion. We've got that 83 class of
Lee High School.
Lee High School. Does that sound
Yes.
right? Do you know that? Those are your people.
Yes, I know a lot of them.
Yeah.
So what is that, 40 years?
I
That's
don't
a long
know.
time
That's
ago.
too much math for me.
Yeah, it's a long time ago.
But the women are beautiful and they all smell good and wear lots of perfume. They're that group.
Just dunk the clothes in
Yeah,
perfume
it
and
would
then
be
put it
40
on?
years.
I
40
don't
years
know.
ago,
They all
wow.
look good and are beautiful and they're so sweet. We have like a ton of them coming this weekend. That'll be super fun. Retro Rock
It's a
will
fun
be good.
class. That class is a fun class.
Yeah,
Yes, no
right?
doubt. Yeah.
They seem like they play hard, party hard, have a good time. Sweet, family oriented. You're good old people that are just your normal,
Yeah.
salt to the earth. I like those people.
Yes. Good
You know,
people.
just good people.
Yeah.
Don't you like
So
that?
40 years. Wow.
Yeah.
That is hard to believe.
I have a whole ton of them coming. We're going to find out what they drink, but you can be sure I'm going to make sure I have wine and
Yeah.
liquor. Let me tell
Nowadays,
you.
the wine is back in style.
Yeah.
A lot of people, yes.
The dark wine.
Yeah. The red.
I've
the
never
red
heard
wine.
it called that, but
Like
okay.
Cabernet. I'm
Oh, yeah,
sorry.
you're red and
I'm
you're-
not a.
Yeah.
See, he has to say dark wine to rule out Champipple and
Oh
Ripple.
my goodness. I never even heard it called that.
Okay, Fred Sanford.
Yeah, I know it.
Okay, Fred.
Oh my goodness.
Who doesn't like Fred Sanford?
Oh my gosh. Yeah. Yeah. If you got maybe a Sanford and Son night here at the furniture
Oh
factory.
me, oh me. But
My dad walked just like him. Yeah. Fred, oh yeah. He's hilarious.
Well, I wish
We
I had
watched
known
it.
him.
No, we watch Prince Edward every day.
I would replay some of his comedy bits, but there's no way I can do that without a permanent beep.
Yeah. Oh, it has
over
to be
the airwaves.
G-related, G, you know.
We can go
sorry.
PG-13 here.
Okay.
So are there any of the VIP things open this weekend, Jen?
There might be one. I've got a birthday party. We've got VIPs. I might even have one left for Saturday because Saturday's such a big night here. Maybe one left. I'm not even sure yet because my phone blew up all afternoon about it. Everybody's excited to come out this weekend. I think people are coming back from vacation, you know?
Yeah. Yes,
back
they
from vacay, they're ready to party, dance a little bit, drink a little bit, have some fun.
And this
we're
is
the
the best place to do it.
That's
No
right.
question.
You took the words out of my mouth.
So if they want that or want to have a party or
they
a
need to call
reunion,
me and I'll make it happen.
How
Even
do they
if
get
we
in
have
touch
to
with you?
make it happen. FurnitureFactoryBarGrill.com. They can get a hold of me there. My cell, 256-426-1989.
she's getting so much better.
Am I?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, is
You're
it
not
this?
looking at anything.
256-426-1989.
Yeah, it's the headpiece. It just makes me look sexier, right?
Well, yeah.
Just saying. Did you know I have
course.
happies for you? I brought y'all happies. Did you know that?
Yes.
Hey, can you give me
We don't need more shots.
No.
We don't need more
Now,
shots.
that would be illegal. I
That's
don't
right.
do that.
Of course not.
No.
Of
But I
course
bought y'all happies because I thought everybody needed happies. Not napkins, my happies. Remember I gave y'all happies for the boys?
Yeah. So she wants her napkins back. Yeah, she wants her napkins back.
Never mind.
Again, if you need Jen, it's 256-426-1989.
Yes, we have Bucked Up on Friday night. And for, bike night, we've got Chris Bell on bike night. So we've got like a fun night for both nights. Won't that be fun? You can take a pick, but I bought y'all each something fun because I thought y'all needed something. Don't you need things like that? Everybody needs something to go in their pocket, right?
I'm good with this.
Good.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
All right.
Nothing wrong with that.
No. We need good
happies.
That's right. Everybody needs happies. That's my love language.
Yeah.
All right. So, just saying, everyone needs to come to the factory and enjoy
this is your love language. You're telling me this is your love language.
Happies. I'm good at happies. Just saying. Everybody needs one. Helps the world go round.
She is improving. There's no doubt about that.
No doubt. I think we lost control.
There's no question about that.
And I'm sober. I haven't had a thing to drink.
Well,
not a thing.
We've gone from a guy who wants to strip off naked if his football team wins. Yeah, and now we've got
naked.
Now we've got someone else giving us happies.
Yeah, I know.
See,
it's a good day so far. I guess.
Oh dear.
It's a good day some places anyway.
Again, to contact Jen, it's 256-426-1989.
Or I'm here.
And she's right here.
Yeah.
Right here.
Yeah.
Thank you, Jen.
See ya.
That'll wrap up hour number one. We'll be right back after this Sports Center update.
No one knows your Ford better than our factory-trained, certified technicians, and that's a fact. Hi, Bobby White back again for Woody Anderson Ford, letting you know about a one-time service promotion good through June 30th only. Starting at just $79.95 when you get the Works package for your vehicle. You buy the first one, the second one is on us. The Works package includes a synthetic blend oil change, tire rotation, vehicle checkup, and more. You buy the first one, the next one is on us, but only through June 30th. Schedule online today and come in to Woody Anderson Ford.
Hey everyone, let's all stop what we're doing and take a moment. You see? Every moment can be kind of special. But they can be loud moments, goofy moments, dorky moments, it doesn't matter. Because every time dads like us take a moment like that to spend with our kids, well, it's pretty momentous. So let's take a moment to make a moment. Call 877-4DAD-411 or visit fatherhood.gov. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and the Ad Council.
WZZN, Union Grove, Huntsville, Alabama. 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
This is SportsCenter. Hello there. I'm Mark Robbins. Mandatory mini camps happening all around the NFL this week, including Buffalo, where the mysterious Stephon Diggs appears and then disappears. 2 straight days showing up in the morning and then skipping out before practice. No official word on what the issue or issues are. That doesn't matter to Bills quarterback Josh Allen. He just wants his wide out with him.
Oh, I know internally we're working on some things, not football related, but, Steph, he's my guy. Excuse me, I love him. He's a brother of mine. This does not work, what we're doing here, without him. We wish he was in here today and was out there on the field with us, and that's not the case, but I've got his back no matter what.
That's Buffalo quarterback Josh Allen. Game 5 of the Stanley Cup Finals will drop the puck in about an hour. The Vegas Golden Knights going for the cup clincher at home against the Florida Panthers. Florida star Matthew Tkachuk, a game-time decision. He's dealing with an upper body injury. The Nevada State Senate just passed a $380 million bill that will help fund a new ballpark the Oakland A's might move into. The bill now goes to the State House of Representatives. Meanwhile, a reverse boycott planned in Oakland for tonight as fans will file into the Oakland Coliseum in support of the A's. And Oakland on a hot streak, 6 in a row. The A's have won and host Tampa later on this evening. And 19 people have been invited in for invitations to the NBA Green Room for next Thursday's, a week from Thursday's NBA Draft.
Coming up Wednesday, as Saquon Barkley and Josh Jacobs wait for new contracts, is it time for teams to start valuing running backs again? Keyshawn, J. Will, and Max, 6 a.m. Eastern, ESPN Radio, ESPN2, and ESPNU.
97.7 ESPN The Zone. Welcome to The Drive with Wes Neighbors and Steve Moulton. Call into the Neighbors Wealth Management Hotline, 256-576-4977.
That's how I roll. And I'm not going to drink and drive anymore.
That's 256-576-4977. Now, here's Wes and Steve.
Back here at the Furniture Factory Bar and Grill, along with Wes Neighbors, Steve Moulton back here with you. Braves and Tigers in a weather delay, but taking a look at one of the gigantic televisions out here on the back patio, I see sunlight up there in the Motor City, but the tarp is still on the field, so we'll see what happens in terms of a start time. Nothing has been released as of yet. Braves looking to bounce back after losing to the Tigers in extra innings last night. 6-5 was that final score. The U.S. Open tees it up later on this week. In fact, we got a U.S. Open update. Little did I know, Tim May joined us. He is out there covering it, and some golfers spoke today. Jon Rahm among them. And this is just a week old. It was a week ago today that we were discussing this merger between Live Golf and the PGA Tour. Jon Rahm, he feels betrayed.
It gets to a point where you want to have faith in management. I want to have faith that this is the best thing for all of us, but it's clear that that's not the consensus, right? I think the general feeling is that a lot of people feel a bit of betrayal from management. I understand why they had to keep it so secret. It's not easy as a player that's been involved like many others to wake up one day and see this bombshell, right? So that's where we're all in a bit of a state of limbo because we don't know what's going on, and I don't think how much is finalized and how much they can talk about either, right? So it's a state of uncertainty that we don't love.
He's absolutely right. Hell, I was shocked.
I think we all were.
I was just floored.
Because it seemed...
when I read it, I was like, right before we came on there, I go, what?
It seemed like the PGA Tour drew a line in the concrete, not in the sand.
I saw they did everything wrong. We covered it. You can't sit there and punish people for going to place for somebody. You can't do it.
And now those are the golfers that have cashed in, and it looks like they're going to be able to come back into the PGA Tour.
They are. Yeah, they're not going to merge and the people are in charge. Yeah, of course they're coming back, and they're going to be playing. So in the end, the money will be better for the players.
That's right. That's right.
I can understand why they're mad. They ought to be mad at management.
They should.
There's some congressional talk of doing some kind of. They're wanting to see what went on behind the scenes.
They want to see the books.
Yeah, and I don't blame them because this is.
And that should make the PGA Tour nervous because they have every right to be nervous on what they did.
Well, I don't know if they should be
from a PR standpoint,
but from they've already pooped the scoop there.
Yeah. Yeah.
So they're done. They did everything wrong in the beginning, and that they were going to lose the antitrust suit. They had already spent. How do you spend $10 million to tell you need to merge? I mean,
lawyers are involved.
Oh my goodness!
If you want the answer, lawyers are involved. 256-576-4977 is the telephone number. We also heard from Joel Klatt, who went on the Herd earlier today and proceeded to say that this season, you know what, in case you're just hopping into the car right now, rather than me telling you what Joel Klatt had to say on this college football season, here is Joel Klatt.
Well, this year is going to be a little bit wide open. We touched a little bit on Michigan in terms of a Big Ten perspective, but let's just look at the national perspective of college football. The power teams in terms of recruiting and winning championships, all right, would be Alabama and Georgia. If you were to throw one more team in that recruits at that level, you would include Ohio State, okay? Is that fair?
Yeah,
okay.
Absolutely.
All three of those teams are going to be breaking in new quarterbacks. All three of them. Then you've got Michigan. They've got their quarterback, and he's back. You've got a team like LSU, quarterback back. USC, quarterback back. If you're looking at
and not
year,
just quarterbacks, like good ones,
very good ones. Caleb Williams is a generational talent. You've got Heisman contending quarterbacks back for all three of those.
Michigan's guy I see in mock drafts is a late first, early second round.
Yeah, I could see that.
Yeah.
I mean, he's a talented guy. There's no doubt about it. So now you've got that level of quarterback back. You've got rosters that are getting better at all three locations. They will be better teams next year than they were this last season at all three of those locations. If you're looking for a year in which you're going to get a champion that is not Georgia or not Alabama or not Ohio State, this is the year that you would look towards. And not Clemson. I'll throw them in there because they've kind of dominated the championship landscape to some degree as well. This is the year. And if I'm one of those coaches, if I'm Brian Kelly, Lincoln Riley, Jim Harbaugh, lean into that.
Yeah.
Go after it.
Yeah.
Set the standard high because the fact remains is that it's a quarterback sport. Yeah. As much as we took shots at Stetson Bennett, man, he made plays at times.
He's a pretty good athlete.
And so this is the moment for those teams. We saw TCU make a run, get to the national championship game. You can do it. You don't have to be Georgia and Alabama. Even though Georgia's won back-to-back national championships, these teams are going to have a really good shot next year to take it the distance.
Lean into it.
Lean into it.
Lean into it.
No, we don't want to win.
Lean into it. We suit up to not win.
I don't think Michigan has a shot to win that championship.
They have accomplished more with an above average, not an elite roster, but an above average roster more than any other college football team the last 2 years.
They had some pretty good offensive linemen now.
Mark is on line one. Appreciate you calling in, Mark. How are you, sir?
I'm doing real well, real well. Thanks for taking my call.
Yes, sir.
Hey, I was just listening to Farm Bomb Show, which I think I've told you all this before. It's good to have it on the program, but boy, it can get your blood pressure high. Wes, do you get a chance to listen sometimes?
Well, I haven't listened lately. I do listen when I can, though. Just been real busy lately.
I was just going to bring this up. I brought this up today. All these people calling in. And one of my favorite movies is God's Not Dead. It's a Christian-based movie, and so I kind of brought that up to Paul, and he acted like he'd never heard of it. So I said, okay, let's put it another way. Bama's not dead. And I said, neither is Saban. And so I went back and looked at some history, and just real quick, I wanted to share may surprise you guys. Who do you think is the most successful SEC team against Alabama?
Auburn.
That's true. Good. 5 wins against Alabama. Who do you think the next one is?
LSU?
Yeah, it'd have to be.
It is. They have 4. How many wins does Georgia have?
1.
No, they've got 2. They got to count 07 when they won in 3.
Oh, you're counting 07. He's counting 07.
I'm not going back.
No,
I don't go back decades ago.
Well, I'd like to take away 2007 because all Saban spent 99% of his time running off and pitching fits and running off the halls of the world. I'll leave it at that. But anyway, so I get to my point here. I looked at these teams that against Saban that's only got 1 win in the Southeastern Conference, and I was really shocked to see you got Florida with just the 1, A&M with 1, Mississippi State with 1, South Carolina with 1, and then Tennessee now with 1. And the rest of them are goose eggs, like Arkansas, for example, has never beaten Coach Saban. And I'm missing some others, Vanderbilt and everything. So what I brought up with Paul Feinbaum was even Georgia, when Alabama beat Georgia in 21 and beat the brakes off of them in the Mercedes game, and had their full, allotment of players. Coach Saban left that game, I think everyone would argue as the dominant program as they just defeated Georgia. And then I just don't think enough time has passed to crown Georgia as the reigning now top team in the program, regardless of 2 titles. And I wanted y'all's opinion. I know, Steve, you may be a little biased, and then Wes is going to be biased to Alabama, so this might be a tough question. But to be a true champion, here's my definition. I'll hang up and see what yours is. If it's true that Georgia is the new Alabama, then we have to give credit to LSU in 19 when it was 19. If winning a title or 2, or Clemson might be a better example, if that is all it takes to be the king of the hill, then all you have to do is be a shot of what's it called, just a fly in the pan, or just just one or 2 wins and you're in. But what program out there is it that has demonstrated not only have they won 6, but they've lost 3? And one I'm on a pick play, by the way. So I'll hang up. Is it more, do you give that credit to Georgia, or do you say, hold on, not so fast, my friend. Alabama is right there, and they've not lost a beat. I'll hang up and listen.
Well, Alabama lost a beat because they finally got beat by Georgia. Georgia deserves all the...
Lost a beat.
Yeah, so...
When is the last year Alabama lost 3 games?
2010.
2010.
2010. Yeah.
It is 2023, and we are literally having a conversation about... lost a step?
Well, hold on. I think what he has a legitimate... What he's saying is legitimate, because a lot of people have declared Georgia the new Alabama when they've beat Alabama once.
That's all it takes.
And they...
That's all it takes.
And they haven't won the Southeastern Conference 2 times in a row. Now, if Georgia were to go on and win the national championship this year...
So 3 in a row.
Oh, God, it's never been done.
And then 2 in a row SEC titles. It has to be in that order. You have to win
the 2 SEC titles.
The SEC and the national championship.
Yeah, so I think that's a huge deal. A huge deal. Alabama won a national championship without winning the SEC championship. I think the credit goes to both programs. Kirby has them. They're playing with a lot of confidence, and they're winning. They got a long win streak. Alabama lost 2 games in the last play of the game.
Tennessee and LSU.
So I don't know. I think Alabama's offensive line really has underperformed even the year they got beat by Georgia, and then last year they've just underperformed. I mean, they haven't been consistent at all. I mean, against Auburn, they couldn't. They 3 of their guys get benched at halftime, basically.
Yeah.
And they come back and win that game, but it wasn't a game that Auburn was not a very good football team that year, and really deserved to win that game. Played, way Alabama sacked the quarterback. They got after the quarterback, and without Bryce Young just being the cool cat he is, was laughing on the last drive. Unbelievable.
Mm-hmm.
But you go back and look, and Alabama, they couldn't block them. Then the next game, they go out and play awesome. But in the fourth quarter against Georgia, they had trouble blocking Georgia again. So it's to me, it's on the offensive line in the last 2 years of not fulfilling where they need to be. The offensive line and the defensive backfield.
I know
not playing consistent.
I know you go there, and I've gone here a couple of times here during this offseason. Last year, to me, points to one thing. It wasn't the players, it was the coaches.
Well, Bryce Young getting hurt a bunch.
Yeah, certainly.
Yeah, and you got a lot of young receivers that didn't play very well.
Is it unfair to say last year was on the coaches and not the players?
I think it's both. You got to have both. I think the coaches can be part. They deserve some of the blame, no doubt. But to me, the offensive line with the talent they have down there.
And by the way, when I say coaches, I know it sounds ridiculous to say it. I'm going to put Nick Saban in that as well.
Yeah.
The buck stops with him.
Yeah, you look at that. How do you say
I look at the NFL draft.
They've lost some really close games.
They lost 2 very close games.
No, the last 4 they have lost have been the last 2 years have been very last second games. Texas A&M lost the 2 losses last year.
Yeah.
The Georgia game, they should have been a blowout. And Georgia made the plays and Alabama didn't.
That's right.
And turned the game around in the fourth quarter, which they beat Alabama the Bama way. Right?
They did.
Hang around.
And what do you think we're going to see this fall? I mean, honestly, I see just a stable of tailbacks, an experienced offensive line.
And the offensive line has to be, they can't be like they've been. They have to dominate. And they got to be. They can't go out and take plays off and mess up blocking schemes. Yada yada yada. Receivers can't bust. They're going to have to. They have the people to win a championship. In fact, I think it's really easy that they're there. But they have to. They got to get better during the season. They got to have leadership. Have to have all that, or we're going to be right back where we were last year.
Didn't hear Coach Saban honestly talk too much about this spring about the leaders on this team. And the 2 biggest leaders are obviously gone, and Bryce Young and Will Anderson on both sides of the ball.
You can see it on defense.
Who is it?
Oh, man, it's all over. You can see.
You talking about Dallas Turner, or are you talking?
I mean, you just can see the way they're playing, the confidence the defense has. I think that freshman defensive back, the safety, number 2, don't have my roster. That guy is leading by example.
Freshman.
I
mean, you
Mark Barron type, better than Mark Barron.
But really, you know what you're saying? A freshman being a leader.
Now you can do it. You can do it. Lead by example, by how you play. Everybody sees how you're playing, and they step up. That's what you do. I mean, I like to think I was somewhat of a leader on the offensive line when I was a freshman. Mike Adcock was it was my hero and leader, right? But the way I played 100 miles an hour.
That'd be Caleb Downs, who's
Caleb
number 2.
Wow. I think Kool-Aid McKinstry.
Certainly Kool-Aid.
Yeah,
yes.
I mean, I think it's out there. I really do. I think that the way they're playing, I think that the new defensive coordinators brought new, fresh air into there, and he's more.
Should we introduce him as the new / old
Coach Steele? Yeah, this is his third time to be there. He was actually on the original staff at Alabama.
That's right. Don't think we're going to see Major Applewhite make a return visit.
No, I think Major's doing a good job. I think he's at South Alabama, isn't he?
He is.
Yeah, I think Major's doing a good job down there. You'll see Major Applewhite again at a Power 5 school. He was a little young when he took the Alabama job.
He was very young.
Yeah. So, but
I do wonder, this was pre-pandemic when Nick Saban, this is when he sat down with you and Tom, the reevaluation process of how he brings in coaches.
Well, I think
it didn't sound like that worked out too well.
No, I think that I always have to reevaluate. I mean, we got something that was awesome that I'll never forget and I'll keep forever is Coach Gramble was sending us the stuff this weekend on how to be a head coach, this or that.
Yeah.
It's classic stuff.
Yeah.
Really is classic. And, I see he sent me, I guess he's in contention for the
he sent me that too. Yeah, he sent me a story earlier today. The XFL Newsroom.com, evidently replacements for Rod Woodson in Vegas. June Jones is on that list.
Well, and so is both of them.
Yeah,
whoever goes, the other one will be there. So I hope they do. That'd be. I love those guys. Anyway, so getting back to the whole thing with Alabama is how fast and how can they get better, and then the quarterback. I think they have the quarterbacks. They need the quarterback to be the leader, though. And
hard to. I need to look at some Notre Dame tape, honestly, just to evaluate Buckner.
Yeah, I think he's only going to make the other two better. He knows the system. He can help him with that. If he's the best guy, he'll start. If he's not, he won't. I think we'll see all three of them the first game. I'd be shocked if you don't.
It is MTSU, so
but, I don't know.
Would that be the fourth scrimmage? I mean,
no. I mean, you can say that, I guess.
I mean, it's a little tongue-in-cheek, but you would think Alabama's going to be able to take care of business against MTSU.
Really, they only have two scrimmages, and then the third one's more like a walkthrough.
Okay.
So and then
so the third scrimmage.
Yeah, this would be the.
It'll be the third scrimmage.
Because Texas is coming into town, and according to Vegas, it's the toughest game of the year. And I don't see any reason to doubt. I mean, we have to find a way to get to Urlacher. The crowd needs to be, we need to make it hard for them. This is a good team, Texas team, with some really good with a bunch of coaches that won a lot of games at Alabama.
Well, you don't have to worry about an 11 a.m. kick in Tuscaloosa for no big noon kickoff in Tuscaloosa, at least for this season. 256-576-4977 is the telephone number. As we are out here at the Furniture Factory Bar and Grill, let's go ahead and take our first time out. Phone line's open to you as we're in a holding pattern right now, and the Braves and Tigers are in a rain delay.
Log on today, 977ESPN.com. You're listening to The Drive with Wes Neighbors and Steve Moulton on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
TOC Sports has been there for you. Now, you're probably asking yourself, what does that mean? It means for more than 20 years, Alabama's largest orthopedic group has been there providing coverage and care to more schools and student athletes in the Tennessee Valley than any other group. It means whether you are the star football player, the all-region volleyball ace, or someone who hurt their knee in a weekend pickup basketball game, TOC Sports physicians are proud to have the opportunity to care for all your orthopedic needs. It means for parents, coaches, athletes, desk jockeys, or even weekend warriors, TOC Sports physicians continue to meet and exceed the orthopedic and sports medicine needs of our community. But most importantly, during these challenging times, we're here for you now, and will continue to be here. So as long as there are players on the field, games to be played, and contests to be won, The orthopedic specialist from TOC Sports will be ready to help. We don't know what the future holds, but you can count on the TOC Sports team to stay committed to you so you can stay in the game. Call 256-539-2728 today and ask to see a TOC Sports physician. Check them out online, also Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.
I'm attorney Gary Lackey. You know, you'll hear people say we're like a family, but here at the Lackey Law Firm, that's really true, not just a saying.
I'm Justin Lackey. With my father and my sister, we have a special connection to each other.
I'm Jennifer Lackey. At the Lackey Law Firm, when we take on your case, you become part of our family. You really do.
And we'll always do whatever it takes to get everything you deserve.
If you're injured, you worry about getting well, not about paperwork or insurance companies or figuring out how to get to your lawyer's office. I'll come to you.
We worry about your case so you don't have to.
When you've been injured, we know that your case is probably the biggest thing going on in your life. More important than almost anything else.
And it's important to us too, for one simple reason. Family takes care of each other, and at the Lackey Law Firm, we'll take care of you.
The Lackey Law Firm. The Lackey Law Family. 1-800-4-RIGHTS.
No representation is made that the quality of the legal services to be performed is greater than the quality of legal services performed by other lawyers.
Not looking or feeling your best? No energy for the things you like to do? Ready to look and feel younger? Make your appointment at Advanced Life Clinic, one of the region's foremost destinations for patients interested in looking and feeling their best. Specializing in advanced laser treatments and weight loss, male and female rejuvenation to offset the effects of aging, and more. See how Advanced Life Clinic can help you enjoy your life again. Call 256-882-6555 or log on advancedlifeclinic.com.
The kitchen is the heart of any home. It's where the family gathers. It's where kids discover old recipes and make them their own. Just starting out or just now getting started on the dream kitchen you've always wanted?
I'm Chris Haygood, and from all of us here at Bob Wallace Appliance to the home builders and the homeowners of the Huntsville area, a heartfelt thank you for buying local. We're in Huntsville, Florence, and Coleman, and online at bobwallaceappliance.com.
The new favorite place for delicious Mexican food is Coralejos Mexican Grill in Huntsville. Check out their reviews on Facebook and you'll see what people are raving about. Enjoy drink specials all day Monday through Thursday, like house margaritas for $3.99 and 12-ounce drafts for $2. Even vegan-friendly entrees on Monday starting at $5. Coralejos Mexican Grill, 1658 Old Monrovia Road in Huntsville. Follow them on Facebook and Instagram to stay updated on their specials.
At Bryant Bank, we believe your goals are worth chasing, and every step along the way is worth celebrating. From your hopes for the future to the challenges that keep you up at night, we're here for you. Bryant bankers put care into action to help you live legendary by stepping up when you need us most and doing what's right even when no one is watching. Come experience a local bank whose people greet you by name and treat you like family. Bryant Bank, member FDIC.
Everything you need is just a click away.
I screw up sometimes, too, man.
Okay, almost everything.
Come on, pal. Tell your fortune.
Log on today. 977ESPN.com. 977 ESPN, The Zone.
Back here at the Furniture Factory Bar and Grill, along with West Neighbors, Steve Moulton back here with you. The field is set in Omaha. As heading to Omaha, the list is finally set with the 8 squads. Oral Roberts, TCU, Virginia, Florida. That's one of 3 SEC teams, including Tennessee, LSU, Wake Forest. And did you see the end of the Stanford, Texas baseball game last night?
No.
Texas was up by 2 runs entering into the 9th inning. 2 runners on, 2 outs, 2 strikes. Pop fly into the outfield.
Dropped it.
The outfielder lost the ball in the lights. The outfielder lost the ball in the lights. Stanford scores the game-winning run, and there's your walk-off because the outfielder lost the ball in the lights.
Happens. He'll live with that the rest of his life.
So it did make me ponder most painful ways to lose and be done with your season?
Well, there's missed extra point.
Certainly.
That I think that's the worst. You're playing and you're.
So LSU, Florida State. Is that where you're going?
Yeah. I mean, I remember more of the Tom Brady versus Sean Alexander game.
The Orange Bowl.
Yeah, overtime.
Michigan.
You score the tie.
Alabama.
Miss extra point, lose a game.
There is another.
So that to me, that's to be the worst thing in the world to lose a game on a kick.
I really hope Wolverine Dan is listening, because I seem to remember a game between Michigan and Michigan State.
Get it out.
Whoa, he has trouble with the snap, and the ball is free. It's picked up by Michigan State's Jalen Watts Jackson, and he scores on the last play of the game. Unbelievable.
And it was at that point we honestly thought Coach Harbaugh.
How many times did Wolverine Dan fire Jim Harbaugh? I mean, he fired him 10 times. Now he's the hero again.
But losing a baseball up in the lights, and then your season is done.
Man, I mean, that poor
Texas.
Poor kid will never forget it.
Yeah. So our producer wanted me to play the kick six, and I'm not going to do that.
It don't bother me.
Come on.
It doesn't bother you?
Yeah.
Well, how about the end of, and by the way, it feels weird to say this is 31 years old, the end of the Duke-Kentucky game, an Elite Eight game back in 1992.
Quick pass to half court and call a quick timeout so they can get in better shooting range.
There's the pass to Leitner. Puts it up. Yes!
That's classic Vern right there, by the way. He just says yes and then lays out. It's and by the way, there may be better finishes, but that game, if you go back and watch that game,
right.
It was back and forth. That was such a great game.
A lot of talent on that team too.
Yes, there was. And so, I mean, Vern was on another call. He was on another. He's called so many big moments, but to the behest of our producer.
Oh.
If he really wants
he still lives there. That's why they can't get past it. He still lives there.
What do you mean get past it, Wes?
Yeah, you haven't got past it.
That would imply that it was something that hurts me.
No, I mean, it does hurt you because you hold on to that moment way too long. You need new moments.
Whatever you say, Wes.
You need new moments.
Play it, Steve. We could do 12 men on the field for a punt return, if you prefer.
Got to be careful and get it up. On the way. No, return by Chris Davis. Davis goes left. Davis gets a block. Davis has another block. Chris Davis. No flags.
Coach got a block over there on the sideline too. You remember that?
Yeah. I was standing on top of the Iron Tigers in that end zone, and little did I know the student section was right behind me.
Well, that's another game the offensive line, the tight end actually, and the offensive line lost. Along with the field goal kicker. How many field goals did they miss that game? 4 or 5? Something
I think it was 4.
Yeah.
I think it was 4.
4th and 1. The daggum tight end doesn't block down. Just simple rules. Steps with the wrong foot. The stuff drives you nuts as a coach. Will drive me nuts as a coach.
So certainly a painful way for the Texas Longhorn baseball team to end their season as Stanford moves on, and that's got to be tough. But congratulations to the Tennessee baseball team. Maybe a year too late. There's so much hype around last year's team, and it's this year's team that goes to Southern Miss, albeit it had a start time of 9:06 p.m. last night Central Time due to some weather issues in Hattiesburg, but Tennessee gets past Southern Miss. So we're going to get LSU Tennessee first game out of the gate in Omaha, and that just, sign me up.
You know,
sign me up
Miss,
for that.
That's the second year in a row they've hosted a Super Regional and lost.
That's right. Yeah, of course they lost. They lost the eventual national champs last year in Ole Miss in their own backyard. We'll see what happens with Tennessee this go around. Florida's certainly got something to say about it as well, as the Gators, they're humming as it was just 2 games and done against the South Carolina Gamecocks there for the Florida Gators. So we'll see how the brackets match up like this. Oral Roberts, TCU, Virginia, and Florida is one pod. The other pod is Stanford, Wake Forest, Tennessee, and LSU. I personally think that second pod is the more challenging of the two, but that's just how they're dealt there in Omaha. That, incidentally, the College World Series cranks up on Friday. 256-576-4977, the telephone number, 256-576-4977, the number to be a part of the program. So what else am I missing besides the kick six? What is maybe the best walk-off moment in Bama history? Is there one in walk-off?
Yeah.
Which one?
It would have to be the kick. The Van Tiffin.
The 1985? Yeah.
Or the 1985 Georgia game.
That's true. And that's a pretty good call there as well, with the kick in the Iron Bowl. I mean, it's only fair. It's only fair.
1985, the kick sends Bama past Auburn. Paul Kennedy and Doug Layton had the final 2 plays.
15 seconds to go. Again from the 46. Bell in motion. Schiller keeping a back in for protection. Looks, set, looking, dumping, open. Richardson, head to the boundary, Greg. Head to the boundary. Get out of bounds. He does. 35-yard line. 6 seconds to go. Let's bring on the field goal unit.
Got to. There's only time for one more play. The ball's at the Auburn 36. So it's going to be about a 52-yard attempt. The 52-yard attempt will be it for Van Tiffin.
This would win the game. A 52-yard try. The clock will not start till the ball is snapped. There is the snap. The kick. It is in the air. It has distance. It's good! It's good!
It's good!
It's good!
It's good!
It's good!
Van Tiffin has won the ball game.
Alabama has beaten Auburn! Van Tiffin has kicked a 52-yard field goal! And the state of Alabama is crimson.
So now I'm getting knuckleheads texting us the best moment in Bama sports, and your brother just cut me deep. Yeah, your brother just cut me deep. Yeah, that was yeah. All right, here you go.
Tagovailoa trying to make up for it. Fires to the end zone. Touchdown! Alabama wins!
Y ahora sí despertó el público. Tagovailoa con el pase largo. Tiene a su hombre. ¡Touchdown! ¡Alabama es el campeón!
3 receivers right, 1 to the left, straight back to pass, going deep, throwing it down the far sideline, and it is caught for a touchdown! DeVonta Smith wins the national national championship. Down the left sideline and wide open behind the defense. One true freshman to another.
Third down. Here's Tua stepping back, loads up, looks long, throws, end zone, touchdown! Alabama! Devontae Smith! Touchdown, Alabama! And the Crimson Tide has once again ascended to the top of the college football mountain.
16 yards, second 26 on the 41, they say. Tunga Vailoa going downfield. He's got a man open. Oh, my God. Touchdown. Alabama has won it.
That's the Georgia call.
We just lost him in the secondary. Too deep. Got behind our quarterback. And the Crimson Tide. Sweet jubilation for them as the Dogs are heartbroken.
All right.
How come that
that's
one gets
enough.
a bunch of different calls?
Well, if I had easier access to the kick six, I'm sure you don't. I'm sure. Why don't you have that as your ringtone, Jackson? I mean,
well, I usually pick up the phone before before the good part.
So yeah, that would probably be the best moment in Alabama. A moment, because that is a moment to win a national championship. And I think that was actually the most retweeted thing that we've ever done on this station from our Twitter account. And it was me in the opposite end zone. And I really thought at that point that Georgia was never going to beat Alabama. It's obviously has happened, but at that moment, I mean, Tua goes down with a sack in the previous play to make it 2nd and 26.
6 seconds later, they won. It was the most. When it happened, when he threw it, I knew it was a touchdown. Well, that was so weird. Your hands went straight up in the air. He was so open.
And I went back and I've rewatched that play several times from my camera angle. But it was interesting. As soon as they break the huddle and get up, I see Tua point at Devontae, but then turn to the other side of the field and really talk to the other side of the field. But that little point.
What he's holding the safety was what he was doing.
Yeah, and he did it beautifully.
But the throw wouldn't have mattered if the safety was over there or not. It was too perfect.
It was spot on.
And Devontae has that speed that nobody. It's the his speed is deceptive.
I never would have thought if you said at that point Tua or Devontae Smith, one of them's going to win a Heisman Trophy. Would have anybody have said Devontae Smith? I wouldn't have.
But I'll remember the first scrimmage. I was there, and that Devontae had, and they threw the same route to him in that scrimmage. I don't know if it was Tua that threw it to him. It was a touchdown, just like the play was the exact same play they ran in the national championship game. And I remember talking to my son Wesley, who was coaching that time. I said, "Man, that freshman can play." He said, "Yeah, he catches one like that every day in practice, Dad." He said he's going to end up playing a lot before the year's over.
That's worst kept secret out there of what he turned into. 256-576-4977. This spurned this conversation was a basic pop fly that happened last night, and it looked like the Texas Longhorns were about to head back to Omaha, but lost in the lights, and then the merry-go-round started to the point where Texas season is done. It was in the bottom of the ninth, and now Stanford moves on to Omaha, and Texas is done. Just to be fair and balanced here, just for our producer and Auburn man himself, we played the CBS version. It's only fair. The national championship game led by Cam Newton, that was a walk-off. That was a field goal over Oregon, a walk-off for the Auburn Tigers. But no one ever mentions that. It's all about this.
Single safety. So I guess if this thing comes up short, he can field it and run it out. All right, here we go. 56-yarder. Does not have the leg. And Chris Davis takes it in the back of the end zone. He'll run it out to the 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 45. There goes Davis. Oh, my God. Davis is going to run it all the way back. Auburn's going to win the football game. Auburn's going to win the football game. He ran the missed field goal back. He ran it back 109 yards. They're not going to keep him off the field tonight. Holy cow. Oh, my God. Auburn wins. Auburn has won the Iron Bowl.
So what I remember most about that night, you know what I'm about to say.
Yeah, I do.
What I remember most about that night, not being in the end zone, not being stampeded by the Auburn student body, not post-game, talking to the coaches afterwards. It would be where we were set up when we went RVing, because that was at the time. Was this still when Connor was at LSU? But anyway, it was on the tail end of that. But all I remember is walking back to the RV lot, which was right next to a church, and smelling apple pie. I was smelling apple pie, and it wasn't what you think of like in the bakery section. It was moonshine apple pie. And yes, moonshine apple pie was being consumed at a high rate, at a very high rate that night down on the plains. I bet you don't remember too much of that night.
No, I remember all of the night.
Oh, do you really?
Yeah. You're thinking of somebody else. I wasn't the one I had a little bit of apple pie.
Yes, you did.
Not a lot.
You were offering me apple pie.
Yeah, well, of course.
And
the sun doesn't rise and set on a damn hurricane. You got to broaden your horizons.
Yeah, branch out for some apple pie. And I think that area.
So if you remember, I sold my tickets for the game.
Yes, you did. Yes, you did.
I went and watched it TV.
Because you told me before the game started, I've got a bad feeling about this.
I didn't think Alabama was ready to play, and they weren't.
I've got a bad feeling about this.
Yeah. Boy, it couldn't have been any worse, right?
So then the lone game that I go to last year, I went to Knoxville, Tennessee, and that was a walk-off.
Yeah.
And another stampede.
Shouldn't we get that retro 500,000 they're going to do? We got to get retro. We need NIL money.
Yeah, I'm going to offer my services for those that want to walk off.
We're not so far from the first time that they won't storm the field. That's going to be upsetting when we get beat and they don't storm the field.
Yeah, because they're going to think about, wait a second, we're going to have to pay Alabama that money.
No, they're just going to get used to beating us. Eventually.
Oh, is that what it is?
Yeah, eventually it won't be that big a deal.
You're saying Alabama's going to turn into Vanderbilt?
No, I don't know. Never. No, never. What I'm saying is it's the ultimate honor when they run on that field.
It really is, if you think about it. Kentucky basketball.
It's the ultimate compliment.
It really is.
And now you get $500,000 to boot. So
I am happy to report I see the tarp. Oh, wait a second. It looks like they're putting the tarp back on. It went off, and now it's going back on up in Detroit.
They're just making sure the dirt was still there.
Yeah, I guess so. Anyway, it looks like we're still a rather long way away from Braves and Tigers. We'll join the Braves radio network in progress at the top of the hour, but we need to take our final time out. Final call for phone calls. We'll be right back.
You're listening to The Drive with Wes Neighbors and Steve Moulton on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Ann Adams with Berkshire Hathaway Rise Real Estate is the one name to know if you're buying or selling real estate. With years of local experience, Ann Adams offers buyers in-depth knowledge of the local housing market and will narrow available properties down to those you'll be interested in so you can save time when shopping for your new home. If you're ready to sell, Ann offers a seamless process using accurate pricing and expert negotiation skills to make sure you get a fair price for your home. Call Ann Adams today at 256-337-2625 or log on bhhsriserealestate.com. These days, saving time is important, and saving money is even more so. That's where Eagle Masonry and Insulation comes in. Over the years, Eagle has expanded their services to meet the needs of folks like you in our area. Taking care of your property yourself can be a real headache. Eagle can handle it for you. They offer full landscaping services, irrigation, mowing, bush hog, and can install plants and trees, sod, and even landscape borders. Call Eagle Masonry and Insulation today at 256-755-1556. Eagle saves you time, and Eagle saves you money.
Great food and the best live entertainment is what it's all about at the Furniture Factory Bar and Grill. Head to downtown Huntsville every Tuesday for karaoke on the only outdoor karaoke stage in North Alabama. Thursday night is the Valley's longest running and biggest bike night. Food and drink specials, giveaways, and live music on the patio. And the Furniture Factory menu is fully loaded with options from steaks to salads, plus a whole lot more. Featuring a weekday happy hour that starts at 3. 619 Meridian Street, downtown Huntsville, and online at FurnitureFactoryBarGrill.com.
My friend and I are taking a trip to Mexico this year, but neither of us speak Spanish. So we downloaded Babbel and started learning Spanish fast.
Want to start getting conversational in another language? In as little as 3 weeks? Babbel's quick 10-minute lessons were designed by language experts to be the most efficient and effective way to learn a new language.
¿Cómo te llamas?
¿Cómo te llamas?
Babbel, language for life. Celebrating 10 million subscriptions sold. Now try Babbel for free at Babbel.com. That's BABBEL.com.
Hey folks, this is Arthur Seed, Managing Partner of University Kia, letting you know we are proud supporters of Crimson Tide football. Stop into University Kia today and shop our large selection of new Kias, including the all-new Telluride 8-passenger SUV, the stylish new K5, and sporty new Seltos. Visit universitykia.com for all our great offers. And get pre-approved in minutes so you can drive home your new Kia today. Because we want to see you in a Kia. Roll Tide!
I'm with Thomas here from Talent Heating and Air. Thomas, you guys are a premier North Alabama locally owned heating and air company.
That's right. We pride ourselves in being deep in the community and helping customers with solutions that they can use to keep their house comfortable.
We do have a lot of customers with those summertime cooling blues, those air conditioners working overtime. Talent Heating and Air can come to their rescue.
That's right. We provide emergency services. You can reach us on our website at talenthvac.com, or you can call us at 256-503-4490. You can schedule a call immediately, or you can schedule for us to come out at another time.
Now, you guys also have the talent to do a lot of other services as well.
We can handle any of your gas piping needs or any problems that you have with gas in your house. We can come solve that for you.
And if it's a late night call, don't worry.
Give us a call, 256-503-4490.
Talent Heating and Air, let them put their talent to work for you.
AL cert number 21014.
From the Fox 54 Weather Center, I'm Chief Meteorologist Jordan Dressman. A partly sunny to mostly cloudy sky this afternoon. Temperatures climbing into the upper 70s and lower 80s. Scattered showers and thunderstorms are going to be possible through the course of the day. Many of us are going to get a significant period of dry time, though. Heavy rain, gusty winds certainly going to be possible within those isolated thunderstorms. We drop into the low and mid 60s as we head into the overnight, early into your Wednesday morning, Wednesday afternoon. Going to bring another opportunity for scattered showers and thunderstorms, some of which could be on the stronger end of the spectrum. Temperatures once again climbing into the upper 70s and lower 80s. I'm Chief Meteorologist Jordan Dressman on your home for ESPN Radio 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
The Drive with Wes Neighbors and Steve Moulton. Listen weekday afternoons starting at 5 on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
It's perfect!
Closing time. Open all the doors and let you out into the world. Closing time. Turn all of the lights on over every boy and every girl.
Winding down a Tuesday. Appreciate the fine folks here at the Furniture Factory for hosting us. And a big thank you to Scott Hastings joining us from the Mile High City as the Nuggets found some gold and I'm not the first one to say it. I won't be the last one to say it, but they hoisted up the Larry O'Brien. Let's clean up some stories, shall we? So you remember the Blair Witch Project, that low-budget horror movie that just swept the nation? I don't know if this is going to sweep the nation, but there is a new low-budget version of the hit Caddyshack.
Oh, really?
Yes, it is called Caddy Hack. It's a struggling golf course that suffers a string of caddy murderers at the paws of a pesticide, mutant gophers. Yeah. Are you signed up for this?
No.
When my father handed this golf club down to me, it's been the biggest golf tournament this club has ever seen. Now I have to deal with dead caddies on my green?
Guys! We have a major crisis on our hands.
It's the Gophers.
These things have mutated.
And they're out there killing everyone.
Crap folds want to go to war?
Mutant gophers.
Have
That's
you seen that,
incredible
Jackson?
dialogue there. They're out there killing everyone.
Yeah, mutant gophers. Mutant gophers. Okay, how about this? A former NFL player, a Pro Bowl offensive tackle, Russell Acuna, left the NFL after the 2020 season, said that even after winning a Super Bowl, it really didn't fulfill him. He then embarked on a health and spiritual journey.
Who's this?
This is Russell Acuna, and he embarked on a health and spiritual journey and lost more than 100 pounds by doing a 40-day water fast. 40 days of nothing but water.
It was all empty. I didn't have a relationship with my wife, with my children. I didn't even know who I was. So I prayed. I asked for guidance, and it came to me. I knew at that very moment there was one answer: fasting. Long term, water only, fasting. I did it. 40 days, no food, only water.
That sounds like there was some ayahuasca.
Yeah, it sounds like to me
that,
it was in a
spiritual journey as well.
He was in a dark tunnel. Wow. Yeah. Interesting.
Yes. So that is out. So if you really need to, Jerry Glanville wants to join us tomorrow. We've got a full show for you tomorrow. Eli Gold and Jerry Glanville. Coach Glanville just texted me and said, "You better reach out to me tomorrow." Yes, sir, Coach. Let's get a final call for phone calls right now. Joe is on the Neighbors Wealth Management hotline. Let's hit the finish line strong.
I'm out in the garden, and I'm looking for those mutant gophers, but I ain't found any yet.
Well, keep looking.
Okay. Hey, right quick, guys. Seriously. Number one, Doug Layton's old partner, what was his name, Wes?
Paul Kennedy.
Yeah, Paul Kennedy.
No. Way before Paul. We talking about the street.
Well, I mean, so that's the clip we played. That's why I said that. It was, come on, Wes. What, you don't remember, Steve?
I don't.
The guy that called,
Paul Kennedy.
No, before Paul Kennedy.
No.
Latham?
No, before Paul.
Forney?
Yeah, John Forney.
John Forney.
And then before that, when my dad was there, it was Pete Farrell.
I didn't know that.
Who lives in Huntsville. His
really?
son and grandson both live in Huntsville.
Huh.
Yeah.
I'm not Pete Farrell, but John Forney has been in. But watch this, guys.
Joe, you sound like you're inside of a water tank right now, but we are right up against it.
Call tomorrow, Joe.
Sorry about that, Joe. And I am happy to report that the tarp is indeed off the field, and it looks like we are going to have some Braves baseball momentarily. Give it about 30 minutes or so. But we'll have the game for you right here on 97.7 ESPN The Zone. As you can tell, a full show tomorrow. We'll talk to you tomorrow.